determine the starting order for qualifying round number 1 and give the drivers a chance to hit the track with the drivers that they'll be qualifying alongside for the next 5 rounds. And Justin, what do you expect to see as the big story today?
Well, we saw Lutz yesterday in a little bit of a slower heat. Some guy's suggestion that he can't put in his best run with that heat, so maybe didn't get the best seed time, but that could be beneficial to him. And he's running some quick laps in a slower heat. Those guys will be aware and get out of his way. The big story today, I expect to see some of those guys we expected to be quick in the four-wheel drive program, Bruno, Orlovsky, etc., to excel, and I expect Cavallari as well to do well during the full 5 minutes as he tries to limit mistakes.
We also saw Ryan Lutz and several top drivers sawing their cars apart yesterday.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually, from some of the top drivers, especially one of that last heat. We saw cars breaking all over the place, but we do know that as it gets dark, it gets difficult to see here. We hear that from a lot of the drivers. It seems to be a pretty standard theme.
And the 4th round of qualifying will wrap up at 5:30 today, so that should be pretty darn close to daylight. The 4 rounds of qualifying today will all run in different orders, so this round of controlled practice right here is mirroring the heat lineup for round number 1 of qualifying, which will simply go 1 through 13. Then once we get into qualifying round number 2, we'll start at heat 4, go to 13, and then 1 through 3. In heat round number 3, we start at heat 7, go 7 to 13, then 1 through 6. And then round 4 tonight, the fast drivers will be up relatively early as we start in heat 10, go to heat 13, and then back 1 through 9. And then tomorrow morning for round number 5 of qualifying, we will go heats 13 through 1 after another round of practice. But there looks like there might be some rain in the forecast for tomorrow.
Yeah, there sure does. But like you mentioned, qualifier round 4 today, some of those faster heats getting up quicker, so they will avoid the sunset. And an interesting talk with the Mondays on the bus yesterday. Some of the Australians, as Mitchell Steer kind of surprised us there in that last qualifying round and put in a good run. And the Monday saying Mitchell actually feels like he drives better at night, and he claims that. So it was interesting to see that as the sun went down, he did put in his best run and kind of surprised us all a little bit in that last last practice round from yesterday.
And what an advantage that would be as well if the other drivers are struggling. He feels confident going into a nighttime qualifier. If that were to be the case, we could see a great run out of Mitchell Steer. We saw a good run out of Ryan Mayfield last night as well. He was one of just a handful of drivers that went faster in round number 6 than he did in round 5.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about that rain forecasted for tomorrow, so there's a possibility that we could go from 5 qualifiers to 4 if we do get that rain and they have to cancel that last round of qualifying to get the track ready for Maine. So I think everybody's really going to want to focus in on the qualifiers that they do have available to them today. There'll be no world championships handed out today. However, you can't win a world championship if you don't make the finals, and with no bump ups, a world championship could be lost today.
And if that rain does come and it washes out not only that 5th round of qualifying, but also the main event, today's qualifying could potentially award a world championship, because then at that point, especially if they decide the track would not be runnable on Sunday, that the world championship would be awarded by qualifying order, in which case you could win a world championship IFMAR title without ever having to race a heads-up event.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so I think today is going to be key. Maybe a little more than we've seen kind of in the two-wheel drive portion, as we had the rain prior to qualifying. With the rain possibly forecasted after, it is going to be paramount that those guys put in their best runs today, all 4 times on the track surface.
So because this is just practice, and especially during these lower heats, we're going to spend quite a bit of time in our chat rooms, as having all of you tuning in from home is not only the reason that we're here, but also it's fun to be able to interact with our audience. And something that we would like to see a lot today is we are trying to stream across multiple platforms here and reach as many people as possible. Click like and love and thumbs up and wow and all sorts of the cool reaction buttons available on Facebook and YouTube, and share those. Share our streaming videos with your friends and family, and let's see how many people we can reach this week. We've reached well over 2 million people this week so far, which has been our most popular event ever.
Yeah, I think it was really cool to see on that Facebook feed yesterday, especially with people who had been on the feed and asking, "Is this real life? Like, what is this? I have never seen this before in my life." It was really cool to be able to reach out and kind of grab those people and maybe start a new passion for somebody.
Yep. Get some new blood in your local tracks. And who knows, someone that watches the World Championships for the first time here might be beating you in stock buggy next year.
Right.
We got Joe Bornhorst checking in on our Facebook page. Ben Jemison from the UK. Unfortunately, Ben not here this week. John Schultz from Axial. Mason Epley watching. Tim Lime, Dylan Julian. Some guy named Brandon Rohde is watching on Facebook. Michael Truey. Bummer that former Worlds finalist